I never pray to God anymore. I'd rather no one hurt me.
Yo, what's good, my fellow Hollows? It's your boy, the Hollow Panther, coming at you with another amazing What If. And yes, this is gonna be part 2 of What If Deku was the reincarnation of Captain Hitsugaya from Bleach. And I hope you guys like the new thumbnail I just made today. I didn't like the old thumbnail, so I I did. What I did was make a new thumbnail, so I kind of like it myself because I did work hard on making this thumbnail. Hope you like this thumbnail. I sure do. But so this is part 2 of What If Deku was the reincarnation of Captain Hitsugaya. So before I start, I'm gonna give you a quick recap what happened last time during part 1 of this series. So the last time happened was when we was playing Deku when he was born, and during his childhood, he was a proud known like a child prodigy. He was a master of the sword, and when he was 10 years old, he finally unlocked his Soul Reaper power and acquired his Zanpakuto Yorimaru. So Izuku did the recommendation course of the UA entrance exams, and he passed it, being the smartest student in UA in class 1A. And the second smartest is Yaoyorozu, and they had the Quirk assessment test. Mineta got expelled, and the person who replaced Mineta was Tsukage. And after that, they had the hero versus villain test. Managed to. Deku, the team was still saying like in canon, Deku or Rock still managed to beat Bakugo Ida with the help of Deku's fine strategies. So that's where we left it off. Thought it was that's it for the recap. So it's time for part 2 of What If Deku was the reincarnation of Toshiro Isagaya from Bleach. So the next day comes, Izuku was about to walk to the entrance to UA. Suddenly, a bunch of reporters started started bone rushing him, asking him a lot of questions. Asking him questions like how it feel to how it feel to have All Might as a teacher, and all that other questions. And keep bone rushing with more and more questions. Suddenly, Mr. Aizawa said, "Can you damn press leave already?" Then the press got out of his way. Izuku said, and bowed to Aizawa, said, "Thank you, Sensei." And Aizawa said, "No problem, get to class." Said, "Yes, Sensei." So Izuku back in the class. So when Aizawa came in the classroom, everybody sat quiet down and sat in their desk. And Aizawa said, explain how they did what they should approve during the hero. We got the result of the hero versus villains test. It told them what they should improve upon, and I told them, saying, this moment right here about to be the most important choice you guys ever had to do in your high school, in your college careers. Everyone's sweat started dropping, and he said, choosing a class president and a class representative. And everybody sighs like, oh, it's just regular school stuff. Everybody bickering on, saying, I want to be class representative and class president. Then Ida said, well, why won't we do this democratically and have a vote on it? Everybody agrees that they did their vote, then they tally up the votes. It's essentially like in canon. It was Momo Yaoyorozu as a class president and Izuku Midoriya as class representative. And Uga said, bow to them, was like, I would do everything in my power to lead y'all in the right path. And Momo did this bow the same way. So that'll say. So these are your two people. So these are the two people you want to have as your as your class president and the class representative. They all said yes. And Bako snapped said, "All right, who voted for the nerd?" And Carbonari said, "What? We think we gonna vote for you?" He said, "He said, he said I have to respect the decision of my peer." Then the Kirishima said, "Dude, why you didn't just vote for yourself?" So they were having lunch. Izuku was eating with Ida, Uraraka, and let's say and Yarozu and Todoroki. Todoroki said, "Huh? So what? So your sword is a part of your quirk, huh?" Like, yeah, and Izuku said, "Yeah, you could say that. The sword is a part of my quirk. You could say yes, you could say yeah, you could say that. But I'm quirk. To be honest with you guys, I am actually quirkless." Said in my said in my on my files. Everybody shocked. Say, "Wait, what? You quirkless? What? That sword? All those ice abilities you did, and the ice dragon you summoned with the sword. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was hard work and dedication. You concentrating my Shimpo training and my Keto because of my training using my Renchi. What the heck is my spirit suppressor? Like what? Is there spirit suppressor or what that? Then Zuko said, "You probably won't understand it if I try to tell you." He said, "Oh, all right." Suddenly the alarm started ringing, and everybody said, "What?" All the students saying, "What's going on?" And the second year said, "This never happened before. This must be a vandal attack." Everybody started panicking and trying to run to the nearby exit. Then Izuku turned around and seeing just one is the reporter made it through the campus. Izuku just sighed and said, "Oh, the emphasis." So he just flashed stepped to the top of the exit. He said, "Excuse me, guys. Can you please settle down? It's just the media. If you look outside, you see one of the media just made it in the campus. That's why the alarm's ringing. And why are you guys acting like this? I'm disappointed of the second and third year. I thought you were supposed to show an example to us younger class, to us lower classmen. So can you please settle down and and get out and leave in an orderly faction?" So he just sighed and flashed stepped back and sat back to his seat, finished the remaining of his lunch, and head back to class. And everybody said, "Yep, I'm glad. We are so glad we chose him to be our class representative." So the next day come, the day of the USJ come. Izuku said, "You guys can sit wherever you guys see fit." So everybody sat where they want to sit. Izuku sat in the front. Everyone was still talking the same, still having the same conversation like in canon. And and also we asked Izuku, so you have an ice-based quirk that evolved with your sword. And Izuku brought out a sword. Oh, yeah, yeah, you can say that. Yeah, my Zonpakuto. And Ojiro asks, do you gave your sword a name or something?" I'm like, "Oh, I did. It does have a name." And everybody said, "What's the name of your sword? Of your Zonpakuto?" You said, "Oh, his name is Yorimaru." It's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool name. Like, thank you. Hold on. And Kaminari said, "What does Yorimaru mean?" And Izuku said, "Yorimaru mean ice ring." Like, like wow. And y'all say, yeah, that's probably don't know that what that. That's probably what you didn't know what that mean, Kaminari. Like, what? I guess you knew what it means. Like, of course I did. So after a while, they finally made it to the USJ, and They met with 13, and Oracle started fangirling out. And Izuku said, "Oh, you must be a fan of this 13, aren't you?" And Oracle said, "Yes, she's one of my favorite heroes. That's why I model my outfit so like space themed because of 13." Like, oh, that is interesting. Very interesting. So, the, so 13 starting explaining the things like in canon, the dangers of some quirk could be dangerous and all that other stuff. Suddenly, a purple and black portal started to appear, and a bunch of villains started coming out, and a man with a tons of with lots of hands, saying, "Hello, students. Hello, students. My name is Tomura Shigaraki, and we are the League of Villains, and we're here to kill All Might." And Kirishima said, "Whoa, we got fake villain. We even got fake villains." And Aizawa said, "Those ain't fake villains. They're real. They're the real thing. 13, protect the students." And Izuku said, "Sensei, allow me to assist you. You can't handle them by yourself." He said, "Kid, I got lots of tricks up my sleeves. Just watch how true pros handle handle a handle a villain threat." So I thought I was springing the action, started taking care of the slaughtered villains. Suddenly, Korgiri trying to take care, about to resort warp every student into their separate areas. Izuka said, "Ida, go 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 get some help." Ida said, he said, "But Midoriya, you're fat. You're way faster than me. You could probably get to UA and back, and no problem." He said, "Ida, go. They need me here." So he summoned his Zanpakuto and unsheathed it. He said, "Beyond the above set above the frozen heavens, Yorimaru." That he Then suddenly a huge ice dragon hit through the doors, breaking the door off its hinges. He said, "Ida, now." Suddenly, Ida ran and used his reciprocal burst to escape the USJ. Suddenly, a villain with an earthquake sealed the door back with his earth, blocking it, so no one else can escape. Suddenly, 13, while that happening, 13 already trapped Korogiri with her quirk. Suddenly, Korogiri managed to escape, blowing out 13's back and separating the student into the area in separate areas. As for Izuku was underwater. Suddenly, was underwater. And suddenly Zuko's like, "Huh? Where am I?" He sees that he was underwater. Suddenly, a water villain was close to attacking him. Suddenly, Asui jumped on the on the shark's on the water villain's head and grabbed Midoriya with her tongue, and and send her to send them to the boat, to the shipwreck boat, to the boat. So Asui said, "You okay? Are you okay, Midoriya?" And Midoriya said, "Yes, thank you, Asui, for saving me." He said, "No problem, but please call me Sue." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he sees that he had also with them was Cessna. He said, "Oh, Cessna, are you all right?" And Cessna said, "Yes, I am." So this is weird. So he sees his own Pato and it vanished. He said, what's going on here?" And also, he said, "What do you mean, Midoriya?" So they their plan was to separate us all, but the thing that don't make any sense to me that they sent you to a place that can help that benefits your quirk. If I was them, the best strategy I would have done is sent you to the flame area, to the fire area. But no, they sent you near the waters. So that must mean one thing. They they were that their strategy was are extremely sloppy. So they didn't know what type of course that we were gonna have. So the best thing so you have a event. So the best thing we should do is learn each other's quirks and find a way out this shipwreck zone and get to Aizawa. And both Asui and Setsuna agree. So while they were explaining their quirks, we go back to Aizawa, still fighting off the slaughter villains, still doing what he can to stop them. Suddenly, Shigaraki said, "Nomu, handle this hero." So the Nomu started charging that Aizawa tried to capture him with his bandage and try to turn off his core and try to bring him down in submission. Suddenly, Shigaraki said, Not even your quirk won't work on him, Eraserhead. He has more than one quirk. He was made to defeat to kill All Might. He has shock resorption and regeneration. So you only could turn off one of his quirks. You can't turn off both quirks. So the Nomu started beating Aizawa up. Now when that happened, we put back to Midoriya and so Izuku finally came up with a strategy. Then he summoned his own Pakuto, unsheathed it from the sheet. Then he jumped in the ship, then caught and suddenly froze the entire water using his ice, freezing the villain, in process, capturing them. And Izuku stepped on, put his sword back in his sheath. He said, "It's safe to come down now. We are a hand of the villains." What you mean then? Setsuna and Suyo eyes widen and see the whole water, all the water that was in this area was frozen. He said, So Suyo carefully brought down Setsuna, then she came down herself. And he said, "Come on, the entrance is right around here. Let's go." So both Setsuna and Izuku were walking towards the entrance. And he turned around and see Sue was walking extremely slowly. He said, "Hey Sue, are you alright?" Said, "Yeah, because of my quirk, I'll move very slowly in the cold." So Izuku walked back to Asui, took off his jacket, and gave it to her to keep her like, "Here, maybe this will work." could probably keep you warm. And Asubi said, "Thank you, Midoriya." And she put on the coat. I said, I hope that helps." She said, "It helps a little. Thank you." So, you want me to give you a piggyback ride to help you out? She said, and then Asubi said, "Aren't you a little short, trying like, like you start having tick mark? Like it's fine." So Asubi went on Izuku's back and Izuku started walking Asui to the exit near the entrance. Suddenly, they finally got to the entrance. They see Aizawa badly beaten up. His arms was almost decayed off. He said, like Sensei, and he got Asui down. He's like, "Okay, here's the plan. I handle I handle the Nomu. I handle that creature right there." And I handle with the guy the man with a hand fetish. Make sure you get Aizawa Sensei out of here to the entrance, and both you and Setsuna say, "All right." So Izuku flash step towards the Nomu and block his fist from connected to Aizawa. He said, "You leave my sensei alone." And he pushed him back. He said, "Nomu, finish this, kill this kid." So the Nomu charged at Izuku. Izuku used his flash step to slash his arms. Suddenly he started regenerating. He said, "Foolish boy, Nomu is made to kill All Might. And he has regeneration and shock absorption." Regeneration, huh? Okay. Time to finally bust this out. And Shigaraki said, "Bust what out?" And suddenly, Shigaraki saw Tsuyu and Setsuna was about to taking Aizawa to safety. Suddenly, Shigaraki dashed towards them, trying to decay him. Suddenly, Izuku turned around, having flashes, seeing both Setsuna and Asui getting decayed by him. Suddenly, Izuku just flash stepped toward Shigaraki and then pushed him back. He said, "No way, I'm not gonna let you hurt my classmates. As class representative, my duty is to protect my classmates. I'm not gonna let a man with a bunch of hand fetishes to stop me." He said, like what you said earlier. What it's time to bust what out? It's time to bust this out. Then Izuku brought out his sword, pointed his sword at him, and said, "Bon Kai." Suddenly, a huge burst of light started erupting towards Izuku. Suddenly, everybody's eyes widened. Suddenly, the light finally dims out. Suddenly, you see Izuku in the air. His whole body, he got ice wings. He was covered in ice. They said, "Daigoren Yorimaru." This is my Bankai, Daigoren Yorimaru. I'll be even stronger in this form. So, Izuku charged at the Nomu and started attacking him. So the Nomu tried to beat him up senselessly over and over. Suddenly, the Nomu punched him so hard that he shattered. And the Shigaraki said, "Wait, what?" It was a clone. Then suddenly Izuku slapped the Nomu on his back, constantly slashing him over and over again. Suddenly, Izuku used his signature attack and froze the Nomu and hold on, what's that name? That's it. Suddenly Izuku said, "Stay back, guys, stay back." Then he said, "Froze that Sakako." Suddenly, the clouds started getting darker. Suddenly, the glass was already shattered. from the sound of Izuku using his bankai. Suddenly, snow started falling. And Shigaraki said, how the hell is snowing in the middle of summer?" Suddenly, the snowflakes started touching the Nomu. Suddenly the snowflake burst into ice flowers. More snowflakes. The more of the snowflakes hit the Nomu, the bit more ice flowers surround them. Suddenly, after a while, Shigaraki's eye was wide and see the Nomu trapped in a huge ice pillar of frozen flowers. And Shigaraki said, "Nomu, no!" And Izuku said, "It's over." Then he did a slashing motion. Then shot 3 ice shards at Shigaraki. Korigiri began to use his warp gate to catch the ice shard and hit him to hit to hit to hit Izuku back. Suddenly, the ice shard went through Izuku, killing him. And Shigaraki said, "You die on your own attack." Suddenly, he just shattered into ice again. Shigaraki said, "What? Another ice clone?" Then suddenly, Izuku stabbed Shigaraki in his on his shoulder. Stabbed Shigaraki in the shoulder. Suddenly, Shigaraki was starting freezing. His whole right shoulder was starting to freeze, going down to his right arm. Suddenly, after it fully froze, it shattered on him. So Shigaraki was screaming in pain. He's like, "Ah, my arm! You bastard! You shattered my arm!" Now you can't use your quirk on your right side, huh? Time to finish you off. Then you about to stab Shigaraki on his chest, killing to end him once and for all. Suddenly, the earth wall that the earth villain made freaking exploded, and All Might said, "Don't you fear," and took off his tie, and he wasn't smiling. Surprising everyone, he wasn't smiling. He ripped it off, saying, "And I am here." Then All Might handled the remaining of the villains. Then he sees the Nomu already captured in a pillar of ice flowers. And he turned around. He saw Izuku Midoriya, have his whole body covered in, he looks like an ice dragon, like a humanoid ice dragon, ready to stab Shigaraki in his chest, giving the final blow. And All Might said, "Young Midoriya, don't." Then he stopped mid stab, but why are you, All Might, why are you stopping me? He must die. Because if he managed to escape, he would cause more damage to cause even more damage. And All Might said, we do it the white race, young Midoriya. We have to arrest them." He said, "Oh, okay." Then he helped All Might finish the rest of the villain. Suddenly, all the villains were encased in the pillars of ice flower. Then Izuku went all out of his. Finally, the final petal has shattered. Then Izuku averted back to his went out his bankai. He said, "All right, they've been handled." And suddenly, the clouds started clearing up. Then he just tapped. He went to the ice pillar, the ice flower pillar where the Nomu was at. Just tapped it with his Zonpakuto. Then he finally shattered in a million pieces. He said he's been taken care of. And All Might said, "What have you done?" And Izuku said, "Don't worry about it, All Might. That man right there said he was created to kill you, so he wasn't human." And suddenly, Toragiri already took Shigaraki out of there. He said, "No, he's escaped." Dang it! I knew I should have just ended his life when I had the chance. And All Might said, "Don't blame yourself." I'm like, alright. All that mattered that my classmates are okay. Then he went to see his classmates were alright. So he took Aizawa and 13 to the hospital. While Izuku and them went home. So 2 days. So UA was closed for 2 days. When the 2 days was up, they was up there in the classroom. Ida was wondering if Aizawa was gonna be here, gonna come today, cause what happened, cause of his injury. Suddenly the door opened. Everybody sat down and saw Aizawa covered in a sling, covered in bandages. And Ida said, "Aizawa Sensei, are you sure you are fit to teach with those injuries?" He said, "Don't worry about me, Ida. Recovered girl just went overboard on the bandages. I'm fine." So Aizawa explained to the students about the UA Sports Festival, and Yararozu asked Aizawa, "Are you sure that's wise to do the sports festival?" Because after the fact that we had a villain attack at the USJ, and Zuko said, "I would agree with I would agree with Yaoyorozu. Is this wise of UA to do this?" And Aizawa told both of them, like, if we just cancel the sports festival, that gonna give to if we cancel the sports festival, it making it seem like the villain has won. It took our hope. So reason why we still doing the sports festival to show that the villains haven't won. We still have hope in our of our future heroes. So you're gonna have 2 weeks of training. So you guys better take this seriously, or you will get replaced by Class 1B or people from General Studies. Everybody was shocked and surprised seeing that they're gonna get replaced. And he said, and scouts, hero scouts will be gonna keep an eye on you. So you got for people they want to internship with. So you guys better go do your all and try to get internship by those sponsors, by those scouts, hero scouts. Everybody was fired up and pumped, and then I said class will be dismissed. Everybody was about to head home and start their training. Suddenly the door was their path was blocked by Class 1B and the general study course. And suddenly a boy with blonde hair with purple eyes said, "So this must be these are the mysterious Class 1A that fought actual villains." And Izuku went towards them like, "Can you please get out of our way? I had some training to do." But I had to go to the dojo. I had some training to do for the sports festival. And Monoma said, "Oh, you think you better than us because you fought actual villains?" Like, no, we don't. And we fought to survive. Survive the. I don't care about the fame and glory of all that. All I cared about is that my classmates were okay, and we made it out alive. And thank God that 13 is recovering, and our teachers is still have the strength to teach. So the best thing you guys should do is please get out of our way so we can start our training for the sports festival. I bet all of y'all had training to do too. Then everybody thought was thinking about it and agree with Izuku's logic, so they just left. And Shinzo said, "Not bad coming for coming from you guys coming from you for you guys coming from class 1 for you um, coming from the coffin that coming from the coming from the most coming from the the prodigy student of class 1A. You really think you really think you better than all of us?" Then Izuku went to Momo's face saying, "I know I'm better than you. I made it into class 1A, and I was reckoned. I was reckoned. I was in recommendation to be here. And what? Are you in class 1A? No, you in class 1B. You're lucky are lucky you're in the hero code. People like in the general study are lucky to be in UA." Cause and said, "Oh, I won't lose my spot in class 1A. You should be, and whoever you might be, you should be worried if you're gonna lose your spot in the class 1B." So Izuku just walked off, grabbed his bag, and walked off. And Bakugo said, "You think he's so better? You think he's so better than me? I'm gonna prove him wrong in the sports festival." And Izuku stepped right to Bakugo's face, saying, Koski. How many times have we fought?" And Bakugo said, 55 times. Like, exactly. 55 times. And how many fights did you won during in those 55 fights? Bakugo grit his teeth and said, None. He said, "None." Like, "Can you repeat that? Can you speak up? I couldn't hear you." He said, "Damn it. Like, damn it, you damn nerd. None." Like, exactly. So you think you can beat me, Bakugo. Because you think your quirk is so powerful. It's time to open your eyes, Bakugo. Your quirk's not that powerful. We literally have a person in our class who has half fire and half ice, and that is holding himself back, only using half his abilities. And yes, I know who you are, Shoto Todoroki, son of the number 2 hero, Enji Todoroki, aka Endeavor. You holding yourself back. You're not even using your fire. Probably you had something tragic happen to you that you won't be able to use your fire. But you shouldn't hold back. Not with me. Cause I will win the sports festival and prove my strength in this fight. So not enough talking about you, Todoroki. Going back to you, Koski. Literally, Todoroki is literally himself back, and you think you are the top dog in this class, and you got someone like Yaoyorozu that can literally create anything, and you think you better than her. Good God, I was one of the smartest in our middle school and high school class. Top top of the school, top of all our school, all our mock tests. A quirkless person, someone you try to bully. That I always put you down to put you back into place. So don't try give me that bullshit you saying that you better than anyone. If you couldn't beat me, you if you couldn't beat me, what's the point of you coming here if you're just bullying weaker people with no quirks or people with weaker quirks than you? I'm done. I'm done talking to you. I'm done talking to you, Koski. I'm going. I should be heading off for training. So he just flashed that out of there, and Bakugo couldn't say anything but listen, and just balled his fist up in anger. He said, "Whatever." Then he want. He said, "Move it, extras." Then he left. He left the school. Then he left to go do some training. Todoroki just saw what Izuku said. He said he knows a lot about me, and he knows that I'm holding myself back. No, I can't let that psych me out. I had to win the sports festival only using my mother's quirk. I won't use his side. So, 2 weeks of training had been on their way. Deku was still training at the dojo. Then he finally had an opportunity to face the master disciple, a student. So they started their match. Deku was flash stepping towards the student, the master student. He managed to strike him in the head. Then managed to strike him on his both sides of his chest, of his ribs. Then finally ended it with a forced strike to the head, giving him the win, giving him the first round. So the second round is about to begin. It was doing the same strategy. Suddenly, the master student figured out he was doing the same strategy. Then he struck him in the side of it, on the side of his face. But Deku knew he was about to do that, so he flash steps behind him and hits him in the back. And Izuku managed to trip him, to clip him down, and point to they strike them. They strike them in the head, but he stopped. He said, "Do you admit defeat?" And he said no. Then he hit his candlestick. He got up. Then he started attacking them. Then Izuku dodging every attack. Suddenly he hit the master student in the side of his ribs again. Suddenly he went to pain because he injured his ribs, his left side of his rib 3 days ago in a rock climbing incident accident. So Zuku, during their warm up, he see him popping painkillers and icing his left rib. So he knew that he should aim more on that side of his ribs, so of his body. So he kept hitting him over and over again. Suddenly he flashed up and jabbed his candlestick into his rib, and the master student went to his knees, and Zuku put his candlestick to to his chest, to his chin, to his helmet. He said, "Do you admit defeat?" He said, "Yes, I have." So gave him the second point and giving him the win. Then they both took off their face protectors and bowed to each other, and the master was clapping and said, "Good job, my students, and congratulations, Midoriya, for winning that match." And he said, "Thank you, Sensei." I heard you gonna be doing in 2 weeks. You're gonna be doing this UA Sports Festival. Like, yes, I am. You better show the Jinkei dojo. You better bring the Shinsei dojo pride to and win the sports festival. He said, "Of course, master, I will." So 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 they bowed to the master. He said, after the sports festival, you can challenge me anytime." He said, "Yes, master, I understand." So he finished the rest of the 2 weeks. He been working on his Shikai ability and Bankai abilities. Hold on. So where was I? So Deku was doing his more training with his Zanpakuto. So the day of the UA Sports Festival begins. So everybody was getting ready, and Deku did register because people think that his Zanpakuto is a part of his quirk, so Izuku is allowed to use Yorimaru in the UA Sports Festival. So everybody was getting ready, warmed up, getting ready for the UA Sports Festival. Suddenly, Shoto Todoroki went towards Izuku. It said, "Izuku Midoriya, I declare a declaration of war against you." Izuku turned around and looks at Todoroki. He said, "Oh, are you sure? Are you gonna go all out, or are you just gonna hold back and just use your eyesight? If that is the answer, if the second answer is right, if it is the second answer, I am gonna sadly decline your declaration of war against me, because I'm not gonna fight anyone that is holding themselves back." If you want to give someone declaration of war, you should do it to Koski or someone else. But if you are going to use your flames, I am gladly to accept your declaration of war. And Todoroki said, "I'm not going to use his quirk, so you already got my answer. My answer is no. I do not accept your declaration of war." So he finished getting ready. Suddenly, President Mike called out Class 1A, B, and General Study, the support course, and the business course. So, and the person was hosting the UA Sports Fest for the first year was the rated R superhero Midnight. And Midnight said, "Can Izuku Midoriya please come to the podium and say a few things?" And Izuku said, as the represent the represent the represent the represent the rec the represent the record the record the recommendation the recommend who re, the per, the recommendation the recommendation of the first years. Everybody eyes wide say, "Wait, he's the recommend the recommendation of the first years. So, so Izuku went to the podium and said, "The first thing first, I want to thank all y'all, all you guys for taking your time, taking off your time to come and see us during the UA Sports Festival. I want to thank y'all all for coming and sparing your time to see us, see how we improve during the last few days in UA. And I want to wish all my component best of good luck, and I hope all my components show what they really made of, because I will show what I'm really made of." And for the people who think that Class 1A is all our our big shots because we fought actual villain, I want to say that we aren't that much. We're not, because we all fought for our lives to survive. That we didn't do that just to get more popular, get more fame and popular. We did that. We had to do that to survive. We barely made it out alive back then. One pro hero still is recovering in the hospital, and our teacher was badly injured. I'm glad that nobody got hurt during the process. So that's all I wanted to say. Again, thank you all for coming, and I want to wish all my fellow competitors good luck. And he bowed, and he went. Then he went out. Then he got off the podium, and went back to his class. Everybody started cheering, and everybody was now pumped up. And Baka was just pissed off, saying, "You think he's so better than me?" Because he's the representative of the first years. That should have been me being a representative of the first year, not that nerd Deku. Suddenly, the Midnight explained the race. So President Mike and Eraserhead were doing commentary, and President Mike asked Eraserhead, "What's gonna be the most difficult obstacle that these students gonna be facing?" And as I would say, the door. Suddenly, everybody tried to squeeze themselves out in there. Suddenly, Todoroki uses a flash freeze to freeze everyone up. Then suddenly, Izuku started using flash stepping right next to Todoroki. He said, "Really, Todoroki, you think that will work against me?" Then he flash stepped towards him, gaining the lead. Todoroki tried to chase after him. Suddenly, Izuku said, "Set above the frozen heavens, Yorimaru." He suddenly activated his Shikai and slashed through all the robots with his Shikai. Then he flashed up toward the trench area. Then he just used his flash step to make it to the trench area. Then now he was in the landmine area. So he flashed up in the air. Then he said, set above the frozen heaven, Yorimaru." Then he slashed. Then he brought down Yorimaru towards the landmine area, hitting all the bombs. Suddenly a big pink smoke came out, and suddenly all the bombs were detonated. All thing was left was a huge trench, a huge hole, big hole. So Izuku just flashed up then deactivated his Shikai, then splashed step toward the finish line, giving him first place. And President Mike said, "Izuku Midoriya has won first place in the race." Suddenly, after a while, finally, President Mike said, "Shoto Todoroki has won second place." And finally, Bakugo finally caught up. He said, "Damn it! Deku and Icy Hot managed to beat me." Then Katsuki Bakugo made it to third place, and everybody came in like the original. So Midnight explained the second part of the UA Sports Festival, and she said the second part of the UA Sports Festival is gonna be a cavalry battle. And she said there's a 1,000,000-point headband that, and he said Izuku Midoriya will get that 1,000,000-point headband because he won first place in the race. Everybody started looking at Izuku with killer intent. One of his headband, he said, "Huh, you really think that you can take my headband? I'd like to see you try." Suddenly, he started releasing his spiritual pressure, bringing all the contestants to their knees. So, how sad. So he unreleased his spirituals, and he unreleased his spiritual pressure, and just grabbed the headband and walked off. So as for the team, it's still the same as the canon. This was Izuku, Uraraka, Mei Hasame, and Tokiyami. Everyone else still had the same team in canon. And Izuku had a way better strategy like in the original. So they put their plan into motion. Izuku just been using his Zongpak tub to form ice shards to shoot at the opponent, while Dark Shadow take their point headband. Suddenly, when Ida came up with the plan, use his reciprocal burst to take Izuku's headband. Suddenly, Izuku said, "Set beyond the frozen heaven, Yonemaru." Suddenly, Izuku used Yonemaru to hit Ida with Suddenly, Ida couldn't stop. They got smacked down, hit Yonemaru head on, freezing Todoroki's team. Suddenly, Izuku team just ran towards Todoroki's team and grabbed their second place headband. After a while, Midnight said, "Time's out." And the people who won the first place was the Team Midoriya, and Todoroki managed to make it to fifth place, and Bakugo went to second place, capturing the most headbands. And Bakugo said, "Damn it! Only thing I got was second place." And Shinzo's team made it, and the same thing happened in canon. Shinzo's team just forfeited, so the people who took Shinzo's team spot were Ibara and Tetsu. So the one-on-one fights were about to begin. So for the one-on-one fights, it was gonna be Izuku Midoriya versus Hisoshi Shinzo. So Izuku was about to head to the arena. Suddenly, Ojiro said, "Izuku, can we talk?" He said, "Of course." So Ojiro warned Izuku about Shinzo having some type of brainwashing quirk. So Izuku said, "Thank you for the heads up. I could definitely help me. That definitely was useful." So Izuku went to the arena, and Midnight said, "Begin." And Shinzo started trying to assault Izuku. Said, "So you probably amazing with having a quirk like that, huh? You think you better than us Class 1B students because you actually face villains." So Izuku didn't say a word. He just summoned Yonemaru and walked towards Shinzo. And Shinzo said, "Oh, what you gonna do? Stab me? Kill me? You're supposed to be a hero, right? Why you have a real sword?" He said. Then only thing Izuku said was, "Set above the frozen heavens, Yoremaru." Suddenly, a huge wave of ice hit. It was about to attack. A huge ice dragon was about to hit Shinzo. Shinzo barely managed to dodge. Suddenly, Izuku used the chain behind his Zanpakuto and been trapped Shinzo in it. Suddenly, his whole body was suddenly his whole middle part of his body was starting to freeze. He said, Wait, you about to freeze me?" Suddenly, Izuku said, "Do you give up, Shinzo?" He said, "No." So, suddenly, more and more ice started forming around Shinzo's body. Suddenly, the only thing left non-frozen was Shinzo's head, because his whole body was frozen. He said, "Do you give up now, Shinzo? It's futile to even use your quirk on me. The best thing for you to do is give up. You don't have any other choice." And suddenly, Zuko started freezing more of his head. The only thing left was his mouth, saying, "The only thing I have left for you is your mouth, so you could tell Midnight that you give up. So, Shinzo, do you give up?" And Shinzo didn't say a word. He said, "Oh, I had to seal your mouth." So Izuku sealed Shinzo's mouth and said, "Miss Midnight, I think Shinzo is not able to battle no more, because I trapped him in a block in ice." And Midnight just nodded. It said, "Shinzo is unable to fight. The winner is Izuku Midoriya." So Midoriya just released the shadow of the ice, so Shinzo can escape, can breathe. Like, suddenly Shinzo said, "Wait, I lost it." He didn't say a word. So he deactivated his Zanpakuto out of his Shikai form. Then he just walked. Then he sheathed his sword and just walked off. He said, "The guy with the tail quirk told you about my quirk, didn't he?" Only thing he did was just nod and walked off. He said, you do have a pretty good quirk, but you need to start training. So he just walked off. Then the next match began. The next match was Todoroki versus Sero. So Sero tried to capture Todoroki with his tape. Suddenly, Todoroki just splashed free Sero, giving him the win. Or the next match, it was Ibarra versus Kaminari. Same thing happened to Cannon, and Ibarra ended up beating Carbonari. The next match began. It was Tenya Ida versus Mei Hasume. Same thing happened to Cannon. Mei Hasume used Ida as a walking advertisement and forfeit her match to win. And Ida managed to advance on to the second round. The next match was Ayama versus Mina. The same thing happened to Cannon. Mina ended up beating Ayama, advancing to the second round. The next match begins. It was Tokiyami versus Yaoyorozu. Same thing happened to Cannon. Tokiyami ended up pushing Yaoyorozu out of balance without her recognizing, giving him the win. So the next match was Kirishima versus Tetsu. And the same thing happened to Ken. It ended up in a tie. And they decided on the winner is in an arm wrestle. So like in Canon, Kirishima managed to crack Tetsu iron skin and giving him the win, advancing to the second round. For the last round, it was Bakugo versus Uraraka. Same thing happened to Canon. Bakugo managed to beat Uraraka. So the second round was gonna begin. The first round of the second round was Todoroki versus Izuku Midoriya. So Midoriya was walking towards the entrance, toward the arena. Suddenly, the number 2 hero, Endeavor, stopped him. He said, "Hey kid," he said, "What is Endeavor? What do I have the pleasure of you speaking to me?" He said, "Can you make my son use his flames?" And Izuku sighed and said, "What's the point? He's too stubborn and he won't listen to reason. You think if you couldn't make him use his flames, how can I make him use his flames?" He said, "I don't care what you do. Make my son use his flames. It's gonna be pointless, but alright, I try." So Izuku just walked off to the arena. And the match between Izuku and Shoto Todoroki began. So Todoroki tried to hit Izuku with a wave of ice. Izuku just flat stepped to dodge his ice, saying, "Todoroki, what's the point of you using your ice against me? This is just gonna be a stalemate because we're both ice users. So the best thing for you to do is use your phone. Not stop with this petty goal of yours, just using your ice after your core. You use your flames." And Todoroki said, "Oh, so you talked to my father, huh? Like I told you before, Midoriya, I'm not gonna use his quirk." This is how sad this is. Then suddenly Izuku just brought out his Zanpakuto and said, set beyond the frozen heavens, Yorimaru." Suddenly, a huge ice dragon was about to hit Todoroki. Suddenly Todoroki shot a wave of ice at the dragon. Suddenly they both collide, shattering. So if we both use our ice power, our ice abilities, it's just gonna collide and shatter itself. I don't have time for this. If you just gonna keep holding yourself back, I'm just gonna one-shot you. Hold on. And Zuku just said only few word. He said, "Kore yakaso." Suddenly the clouds started getting darker. Suddenly it started snowing. And President Mike said, "Whoa, isn't Zuku Midoriya actually making it snow in the middle of summer?" Suddenly the snow started falling down. Suddenly one the snowflake managed to touch Totoro. Suddenly the snowflake burst into an ice flower. He said, "Do you before you freeze, before you get trapped into my Yorizakato, do you give up, Todoroki?" And Todoroki said, "No." Then he shot him with a wave of ice, and he just flashed stepped to the air. He said, "It's futile. You already lost." The more snow started touching Todoroki, the more snowflake touching him, the more ice flowers started appearing on him. Todoroki was trying his best to get the ice flowers off of him, but it was futile. Todoroki was in a panic. Suddenly, his left eye started bursting out, trying to melt the ice. Trying to melt the ice. Said, "Damn, you made me use his quirk." He said, "It's futile. You think that is already most of the snowflake already touched your body." And he checked on his feet that his feet were already trapped into the ice flower. He said, "What?" And suddenly he turned off he was trying to he managed to melt probably half his left side from the ice flowers, but his right side was still encased into ice flowers. Suddenly he said, "I don't want to kill. If I have to, I might have to kill you." Izuku said, blushing, think he was bluffing. He said, and Todoroki said, "You're bluffing." Then he pulled out his Zanpakuto and pointed towards Todoroki's chest and, and dashed his flash step towards him. Todoroki said, "Now!" Then he fired, hit Todoroki, hit Izuku with a burst, with a wave of flames at him. Izuku man's flash step. He said, "Finally, you're using your flames. All right, time for me to finish you off." Then he said, "Bon Kai." Suddenly, a burst of energy. Suddenly, he released from his went to his Bankai thing. He said, "Dai Gorin Yanemaru." Suddenly, he just shot a wave of ice shards at Todoroki. Todoroki tried to melted the ice shards with his fire. He said, "You want me to go all out? So here it is. I'm going all out." So he tried to melt the ice from his right side, but it was futile. It's already okay. So you can't. It's futile. When my Yori Zakaso is activated, you had no. Your chances is futile. So he walked towards Todoroki, saying, "Do you give up, Shoto Todoroki?" He said no. Then he hits with a wave of fire. Suddenly, the ice cone melted. He said, "I told you it was futile." So, Izuku deactivated his Bankai, then just hit him with the back of his sword, knocking Todoroki out, and releasing the Zori Yakuza. The sky started clearing up, and Izuku put his sword back into his sheath. And Midnight said, "Izuku Midoriya wins the first round of the second round. The first round of second round." And Izuku just walked off. He said, I'm only telling you this once, Todoroki. It's not his quirk. It's your quirk. Just remember that." And he walked off. Then he walks off. The next match began. The next match was Ibarra versus Ida, and the same thing happened to Ken. Ida ended up beating Ibarra. And the next match began with Tokiyami. It was Tokiyami versus Mina, and the same thing happened to Ken. Tokiyami beginning to win. And the final match of the second round was Kirishima versus Bakugo. So same thing happened to Ken. Bakugo ended up beating Kirishima, but he was pissed off how amazing Deku's fight was with Todoroki, but he managed to hit with even harder on Kirishima than in Canon, badly injuring Kirishima. And Zuko just sighed and said, he allowing his temper to take over again. He would never learn. So the next match began. It was Ida versus Izuku Midoriya. So Ida started dashing towards Izuku. Izuku used his flash step and grabbed Ida by the back of his collar and said, "Really, Ida? You think I'm way faster than you? And good luck trying to catch me." So he unsheathed his Zanpakuto and he started flash stepping everywhere, started slashing Ida. Ida tried to block, try to keep out of dodge, but he couldn't read Izuku's attack patterns. So Izuku just hit Ida with his with the back of his sword, causing either the gas for to spit up spit to cough up spit. Ida started coughing more spit up. He said, "So Ida, do you give up?" Ida said, "No, I won't give up." Suddenly Izuku said, "I'm sorry I had to do this to you, my friend." So he said, "Set above the rising heaven, Yorimaru." So he hits Ida with Yorimaru head on, causing Ida to get sent out of balance, giving Izuku Midoriya the win. So for the semifinal began. Same thing happened in Canon. Bakugo managed to beat Tokiyami. So for the last match, it was Bakugo versus Katsuki Bakugo versus Izuku Midoriya. So both of them started staring at each other and said, "Deku, I'm going to beat you." And Izuku just sighed and said, "Same old Katsuki. You thinking you can beat me, but it's futile. You already know the outcome." So when Midnight Set began, Bakugo just charged at him with an explosion. Tried to hit Izuku with an explosion, but Izuku managed to flash step towards Bakugo, just neck chopped him, causing Bakugo to be knocked out, giving Izuku Midoriya the win. And I said, Katsuki Bakugo was knocked out, and the winner is Izuku. The winner of the UA Sports Festival is Izuku Midoriya. Everybody started cheering and clapping. Then the medal ceremony began, and Midnight introduced the #1 hero, All Might. And like in Canon, instead of Bakugo being in the first place, they still chained up Bakugo onto the second place podium. And it said, it's disappointing that they had to muzzle you like a rabid animal just to keep you still, and chain you up and muzzle you just to keep you still. Suddenly, All Might gave Tokiyami his third place medal and congratulate him on making it this far. And All Might went to Bakugo and said, "Why you have all these chains around?" Suddenly, All Might took the chains but kept the chains on his hand intact. So and took the muzzle off. He said, "I don't want that hunk of garbage." He said, All Might said, so scary." He said, "Here's your medal." He said, "I don't want that piece of hunk of garbage." All Might tried to force it onto him. He said, "No." And suddenly, All Might just puts it into Bakugo's mouth. And finally, he went to Izuku Midoriya. He said, "Congratulations, young Midoriya, for winning first place in the UA Sports Festival. I'm glad to give you your first place medal." And All Might gave Izuku the first place medal. And All Might said, "I want to present to you your first, second, and third place winner of the UA Sports Festival." And everybody started cheering on for them. And so after the sports festival, Bakugo was brushing his teeth, screaming, "Die, bacteria!" And the next day came, the internship, the day of the internships. The person with the highest offering was Izuku Midoriya. The person with the second highest offering was Shoto Todoroki. The person with the third offering was Katsuki Bakugo. And Bakugo snapped, saying, "How the hell I got the third highest offering if I won second place of the UA Sports Festival? How the hell Icy Hot passed me?" And Kaminari said, "Probably because of your anger," and he is the son of the #2 hero. I told you, Bakugo, to work on your anger, but you never listened to me. He said, shut up. Shut up, you damn nerd. He said, that's enough. Before you guys choose your internships, you got 13 here to approve your code names. Make sure you choose your code names wisely. That's gonna be permanently stuck on you for the rest of your hero careers. So everyone chose the same hero name like in canon, and Bakugo choosing the hero name Dynamite. Then Izuku was weirded off, thinking, why didn't Ida choose the name Ingenium, but he went with his actual name. And Todoroki also went with his actual name. So when Izuku came to the podium, he said, the rising ice dragon. My hero name is Hitsugaya. And Yonimura smiled, saying he chose his reincarnation name to be his hero name. And Midnight said, I like it. And that's his hero name, the rising ice dragon Hitsugaya. And so they still chose the same internship like in canon. And he seemed to care about his friend. Todoroki, but so he tried the internship with Endeavor, and he went to Todoroki saying, "Hey Todoroki, Shoto," he said, "What is it, Midoriya? I want to help you. I want to help train you on your ice side." Because the only thing you could do with your ice quirk is make ice pillars. I want to help you to find your arsenal. So that's why I'm internship with Endeavor. So what happens in the sports festival? Can we just put that in the past? What do you say, Todoroki? Can we be friends? Todoroki just smiled and said, of course we can. So they shook hands and became good friends. And Midnight saw that. He started saying, "Oh, that's so adorable." So, and Yaroji was looking at Midoriya blushing. He's saying, "Wow, you really." I can't believe how amazing he is. Amino saw Yarozu looking at Izuku and blushing. He said, "Oh, Yamamoto, you have a thing for Izuku?" And Yarozu said, "What? No." He's like, Amino said, "Oh my God, hey," and told the other girls, "Hey girls, Yamamoto have a crush on Izuku." All the girls said, "Oh, really? You should ask him out." Like, wait. So while they were having their girl talk, Izuku was weirded off seeing Ida didn't choose his family to internship with his family, but he chose to internship with Native. So when they had a chance, Izuku stopped Ida and asked him, "Hey Ida, what's the matter? Why didn't you choose your first thing? Why didn't you choose your hero name to be Ingenium? Why did you just use your first name?" And Ida didn't say anything. And second thing, why didn't you internship in the Ingenium agency? Why you internship with Native? Did something happen? Did something happen to your brother Tensei? And Ida said, "Yes, my brother got attacked by the hero killer." And Izuku said, "I'm so sorry that happened. Is he okay?" He said, "Yes, he's fine. But the hero killer managed to paralyze my brother Now he can't even do hero work no more. And I'm going there. I'm about to go to I'm going to. Reason why I'm go internship with native because he at Hosu City, and last place they heard of staying whereabouts was in Hosu City. Don't tell me what. Don't don't tell me what. Don't tell me what I'm thinking you're thinking. Don't tell me you going after him. He said I am going after him to give vengeance on what he did to my brother. And Izuku said, Ida, that's too dangerous. He managed to paralyze your brother and kill a bunch of heroes. What do you think he's gonna do to you? Please, Ida, think. You're not thinking. You're not thinking this through. You're only thinking. You're only using your emotion. You're not thinking clearly, and you just flood with emotion and vengeance. Please use your mind. You're a smart guy. You're smart. You're a smart guy, Ida. Please don't go down this path. Path of vengeance. Ida said, "You can't stop me. You can't stop me, Midoriya. I have to do this for my brother." Like what? So you think you helping your brother getting yourself killed? Ida just stopped and said, "What you mean? You're gonna get yourself killed by him? He managed to kill all. If he managed to kill pro heroes, what are you gonna do with a hero in training?" The best thing you should do is go back to go back to Aizawa and change your internship back to Ingenium to the Ingenium agency and change your hero name back to Ingenium because you earned the name of Ingenium because you need to continue the Ingenium legacy. I know that Tensei would have wanted you to continue the legacy. So Ida just did a fake smile and said, "Okay, I will." So Ida just pretended to go back to the classroom. So Zuko just walked off. So when that happened, Ida just walked back to the classroom, walked back outside, saying, "I'm sorry, Midoriya, but I have to do this." So the internship begins, and Zuko and Todoroki made it to Endeavor Agency. And Endeavor was surprised to see Izuku being here. So the only thing Endeavor told Izuku to do was train Todoroki, and Izuku didn't care. That was his plan all along. So the first few days, Izuku was help Todoroki train on his fire. He made mad ice obstacles so Todoroki could train on his fire. And the other days, he helped Todoroki add more ice skills in his arsenals. So over the time, he managed to learn to make ice shards and to conjure and make ice weapons on his own. So the day of the Hosu attack began. So Izuku was just when Endeavor, Todoroki, and Izuku just fighting a bunch of high end, like second grade Nomu. Izuku was just stabbing them and just freezing them. And suddenly Izuku's caught and he like Ida walking in the alleyway, going through an alleyway. Suddenly, Izuku told Todoroki to cover him. He saw Ida walking through an alley toward the alleyway. So he went toward where Ida was located at. While that happened, Ida was fighting against the hero killer, and Native was already knocked out. Suddenly, when Izuku finally came to that alleyway, he sees the hero killer about to stab Ida in his spine. Suddenly, Izuku just flash stepped toward the hero to Stain and blocked his sword with his Zongpao. He's saying, "You're not gonna kill you're not gonna kill my friend Ida." So the thing went back and said, "Huh, you're pretty fast." I'm like, yeah. He said, "Ida, why? How could you? Why would you go after the hero killer after I slickly told you not to do it?" And Ida said, "Like I told you before, he paralyzed my brother." Oh, you must be. Oh, you're the brother of that fake hero I paralyzed. And for he the your friend right there wanted to attack me. I was just defending myself. His just sighed. Oh, what am I gonna do with you, Ida? You let your emotion took control of your actions. So now I have to get you out of this mess. So Izuku just flashed up toward Stain and started having a sword fight, clashing swords with him. And Izuku said, huh, "Not bad. I was an amazing sword fighter." So, and Stain said, "Huh, you're not bad yourself, kid." So they continued clashing swords. Suddenly, a wave of fire was about to hit Stain. Stain managed to dodge it, and Izuku managed to use his flash step to dodge the flames. And Izuku said, "Took you long enough, Todoroki." He said, "Hey, I just got your message." So both Todoroki and Izuku were handling Stain. Suddenly, Todoroki used the ice shard to hit Stain, impale Stain on his shoulder. So Izuku stabbed Stain to use the. Then Izuku stabbed Stain, saying "Ryu Senka." So suddenly Stain was starting getting coated in ice, and finally Stain was captured inside Zuku's ice. Suddenly the paralysis finally wore off from Ida, and Zuku just suddenly just hit Ida in the back of his head. On his head, he said, "You idiot! I can't believe you actually went after the hero killer. You could have got yourself killed." And then the rest of the hero came, and the reporter managed to capture video that Izuku capturing the hero killer with his ice. So Izuku got the credit from defeating and capturing Stain. So the next day came. All my still didn't found himself a successor. So he was still thinking on who should he choose to be his successor. Then he's been looking at the rosters of both Class 1A and B. And he saw a boy that caught his eye. A boy named Tetsu. So he went during the time of the sports festival. He offered Tetsu his quirk, and Tetsu accepted. And during the internship, he then went with with Kirishima. He went with Gran Torino. So during the time, All Might called Tetsu and said, hello, young Tetsu. Would you like to come to I Island with me to meet my old friend David Shield?" And Tetsu said, "All right." I said, "Okay." He said, "All right, All Might, I will come. I would love to come." So Tetsu went to the plane with All Might and had had met Melissa Shield, and Melissa Shield showed Teta around, and suddenly Teta heard someone say, "Set beyond the frozen heavens, Yoremaru." And suddenly, all the robots were frozen, and Izuku got 10-second flat. And Teta's eyes wide and say, "Midoriya, what you doing here?" I'm like, oh, hello, Teta, what you doing here? Oh, I came to I with All Might to meet his friend David Shield. I'm like, oh, like what you doing here? Oh, I won the UA Sports Festival, so I was able to go with one other person. He said, "Oh, who was the other person you brought?" Oh, oh crap! He said, "Oh, he's right behind you." He said, "Oh, Tesla, hey man." It's like, "Oh, Kirishima, what you doing here?" It's like, "Oh, Izuku gave me a ticket so I could go to I Island with him." So that's why I'm. It's only Luca just flash step towards. Said, so you suddenly the next contestant started their turn. Suddenly they got 5 second flat and said, "Huh, see like you here too, Todoroki." He said, "Huh, oh Midoriya, hello my friend." Like hello to you too. They both shook hands. He said, "So you came to represent your father, didn't you?" Like, "Yep." Suddenly, well, suddenly, Oraka said, "Oh, hey, Deku." Like, Oraka and Jira, what you guys doing? Oh, Yamamoto gave us had 2 extra tickets. So me and the other girl did a rock paper scissors. So me and Jiro won. So that's why we here. Said, "Oh, Yarozu's here," and Yarozu said, "Oh, hey Midoriya, hello Todoroki." So you are. So how do you guys get to? How you guys? Oh, cause my parents are. I'm representing my parents, and for this fancy dinner that happening tonight. Like, oh, that seems interesting. So, so they was walking. Melissa Shields showed them to the food court, and suddenly, to their surprise, to see Kaminari and Bakugo working at the food court. And he said, "Oh, Kaminari, Koski, what you guys doing here?" "Oh, we just came here to. Only way we could get to Island if we start do part-time jobs." And suddenly, Ida ran towards them. "You guys should get back to work. You should be working." And suddenly he said, "Oh, Ida, you here too?" He said, "Oh, yes, I'm here." He started moving his arm like a robot. He said, "I'm here to represent my brother because ever since the injury, since he got injured, so I managed to take his place. So you guys should be going back to work." Said, and Bakugo said, "Whatever, Four Eyes." They started back working, so they did the same thing. They went to nighttime. Everybody was dressed up. Izuku was wearing a black tie, an all black tie, with with all black suit with a white tie on, and everybody else was wearing the same outfit like a cannon. And Yarozu started blushing. Both Jiro and Oraka saw that and said, "Oh, you like what Izuku's wearing, huh? Go tell him that." He said, "Oh, hey Midoriya, like, so, hello Yarozu. You look lovely in your dress." He said, "Oh, she started blushing and said, "Oh, thank you. You look nice. You look handsome in your suit, in your tux." So like, "Oh, thanks." So he said, "Shall we?" So you put his arm, gave Yarozu started blushing. He said, "Sure." And she wrapped her arms around Izuku, and they went to the party. So when that was happening, the same thing happened, and Bakugo and Kirishima got lost. Suddenly, All Might and them got got captured. So Midoriya came up, but Midoriya came up with the same strategy like in the movies, like in the two hero movie, and the man to make it to. So him and Tetsu was fighting. So only person, both Tetsu, Izuku, and Melissa managed to make it up top of the tower. They both saw David's shield and Wolfram, and David's shield was holding the Quirk enhancing enhancer device. And Melissa said, "Father, why?" And Melissa, I can explain. And Melissa said, "So explain. Why are you doing this?" "I'm doing this for All Might." So Wolfram just took the device and shot David's shield in the side of his chest. And Melissa said, "Like, Dad." Suddenly Izuku brought out his Zanpakuto and flash stepped towards Wolfram. Wolfram managed to use his quirk to block his attack. Then Izuku said, "Set above the frozen heaven, Yorimaru." The Yorimaru, the Ice Dragon, managed to hit Wolfram before he could put on the device. So Izuku just slashed the device in half. He said, "So that won't be a problem no more." So same thing happened in the movie itself. Izuku and All Might fight, taking out Wolfram is Tetsu, and All Might taking out Wolfram. And there she saw the new beacon of hope for the world. And David Shield got arrested, and all that other stuff happened. So a few days later, as I told them about the final exam, Mina and Kaminari would start paying, and with the sports festival and internship and what the thing happened, I didn't get the chance to study. They started panicking and stuff. And said, "Oh," I wrote and said, "Oh, I could help you guys study." Like, "Really, Yama? You can?" Like, "Yeah, I am the second smartest person in this class." Like, everybody shocked. Say, "Wait, you're the second smartest student in the class? Wait, who's the first?" And Zuki just said, "Oh, I am." And suddenly the number one spot came next on Midoriya, saying, "Yeah, I did get the highest score in the recognition course." And Yaoyorozu said, "Yeah, I can't believe how smart Zuko is." She started blushing, like, and Mina caught that, like, "Oh." And Zuki, "Are you gonna join us?" Like, "Nah, I'm probably gonna do some study on my own and some more training." He told her, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna do the same too." So during the time they were studying, Zuko finally challenged his master, and after the fight, Zuko managed to beat his master in the fight, and his master bowed to him and said, "Congratulations, you have passed. You're passed. You're now passed. Now I could officially call you a master swordsman. I have nothing else to teach you." And Izuku just bowed, saying, "Thank you, master." And he graduated, became a master swordsman. And so during lunch, during their time of study, Kendo said, "Oh, we're probably gonna just." One of my friends, our second year, said we're probably gonna be just fighting robots. And both Mina and Kaminari started relaxing. I could go loose with robots. So like, and Izuku said, "Oh, they're probably not gonna be the case with us. Like, we probably went to other classes, but not with us." So like, And Kendo said, "What you mean, Mom? You forgot, Kendo. We did fought actual villains. You forgot about the USJ. We did fought actual villains. So the teacher's probably gonna amp up the difficulty with us because we actually fought villains." And Kendo said, "You might be right." And Mina and Kaminari their sweat started dropping again. So the day of the final exam happened. So Deku still had first place in the written portion, and Momo got second, and Todoroki got third. In the combat portion, same thing happened in canon. Same team in the canon. People still won. Except for Sero, Kirishima, and Mina and Kaminari. Everybody else won. So the match between again All Might, Izuku and Bakugo versus All Might begins. All Might you hit them with a gust of wind. Izuku said, "I don't have time to argue with you, Akatsuki." So he just knocked out Bakugo. He just threw him near the exit. And he just took out his unsheathed his Zongpak toe. And so for his hero outfit, he changed it again to be like in the thumbnail. So he just said, so I'm just using my Bankai straight off the bat. Then he said, Bankai. Suddenly, he went into his Bankai, Daigorin Yorimaru. So he just summoned a huge wave of ice shards at All Might man to shatter them with his Detroit Smash. Then he says, Zanka Zakaho. Then suddenly it starts snowing. All the snowflakes will start touching All Might. Suddenly ice flowers covering All Might, managing to trap All Might in an ice pillar of flowers, giving both Bakugo and Izuku the win. So he just released the attack, then managed to get All Might out of there safely. And then after that, I would explain to them about the forest training camp, and they was about to get ready for the forest training camp, and that's it. And that's the end of the video. I hope you like the video. I hope you like, subscribe, comment down below. Make sure you press that bell and never miss the video. So probably on Monday I will do the finale of What If Deku was the reincarnation of Captain Hitsugaya. So I hope you like this video. Like I said, like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been your boy, the Hollow Panther, wishing all my fellow Hollow a great day. Peace.